There we go. Hello, everybody. Thank you for clicking on. Chris will be joining us in just about 4 minutes. Hello, everybody, once again. And thanks for clicking on. Chris is going to be joining us in just a few short minutes. Let me hop over here to the chat real quick and say, well, happy Friday to you, Diane McLean. And if you'd like to join the chat, you're going to have to make your way to the YouTube platform and to the channel on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, wherever you may be watching, thank you for watching. We do appreciate that. I got a little trouble. I got some problems with Facebook. We're going to be talking about that coming up in just a couple of minutes. And hi, Cunning. How are you? The stunning one. Cunning Stunt is here. Hello to everyone. And like I said, Chris is going to be here in just a couple of minutes. And we're going to run through news stories as well as a couple of topics. Hold on just a second. Let me see what this is. Okay, yes. All right. That's what I thought it was. All right. I want to make sure I start out with the right thing here. I've got a bunch of stuff. We're probably not going to get all the way through it tonight. But I'm going to start out with this. This is a look at the current traffic in the waters around the Arabian Peninsula, Yemen, Oman, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Iran over here. This is the number of vessels, tanker, cargo vessel, tanker, you know, lots of tankers, oil. Anyway, you can see how I didn't want to pinpoint that. Sorry. No, I don't want, I did not want to pin that. Well, I did not want to pin that. Okay, there we go. You can see the bigger the arrow, the bigger the ship. And you can see how war could be potentially disruptive, especially to oil. And we're going to be talking a lot about oil tonight. Now, look up here. This is the Mediterranean, obviously, the Eastern Mediterranean. Look at the amount of traffic off of the coasts of Syria, Lebanon, and Israel and Gaza. And then, of course, jammed up as you get to the Suez Canal. And we've got the United States. We've got a carrier group. Hold on. We've got a carrier group. And I thought I just saw a British military. Anyway, we've got the carrier group Gerald R. Ford up here near Cyprus. Not, out of range, if you will, of any kind of smaller or medium-sized missiles. We've got the carrier group Eisenhower over here in off the coast of Oman. We've had one of our drones shot down by Houthis in Yemen, and we have also shot down a Houthi drone launched from Yemen at the carrier group, at one of the ships in that carrier group. So I just wanted to show you this because we don't think about it a lot. How much traffic, how much commerce is on the waters of our world, and specifically in this area that we've been talking about and will continue to talk about around the Arab Peninsula and all the countries we've just listed. See, is Chris here yet? He is not. Hello, Pink Flamingo. How are you? Watch on the big screen unless I have something to say. Okay, thank you, Diane. Thank you for watching. Again, I wanted to start off with this map because I mentioned it the other night, how disruptive it would be, and how disruptive it would be if something were to happen. And Chris mentioned, it's not like Iran would have to control the whole area, just the threat of something happening. The increase in insurance premiums alone would raise the cost of shipping, raise the cost of goods to us. We don't want war. People, the citizens of countries should not want war. If you are a leader of a major corporation or the leader of a major company, or country, you're not watching this show to begin with, and you might want war because you might benefit from it. But us, the people, we don't want war. We do not benefit from war. But war is always the solution. War's never the answer, but it is always the solution. It is always the thing pushed forward. Chris, how are you?
Pretty good, Barry. How about yourself?
I'm hanging in there.
Good.
You and I are just going to kind of go down some news stories here, and I just want to get your take on them. And hold on, I clicked on the wrong button. I want to start with this. A top Israel official has a warning for U.S. universities. Minister of man, I'm struggling. Israel's Minister of Economy and Industry is warning universities to crack down on anti-Semitism. Okay, first of all, anti-Semitism is bad. Islamophobia is bad. Racism is bad. All the things that try to divide humanity are bad. All right? That notwithstanding, his quote is, schools that prioritize taking money instead of doing what's right and doing good are going to have a serious problem. And then he says, suggests there's going to be legislative efforts to crack down on what goes on campus. His other quote, you're going to see many funders of Ivy League and other universities shy away from that behavior. Okay, so up here he's saying, if it's all about taking money for your university, then you're going to have a problem. And down here he's saying the problem is we're going to quit funding you. All right? It's always, again, I'm saying anti-Semitism is bad. Why I'm using this to start out tonight is it's always about the money.
Always. Oh, and I think, like, for the majority of our discussions, even on the war, even dealing with war, it's always about the economics. It's natural resources, oil, whatever. But ultimately, it always reverts back to money, and that's, as you can see, right here
It,
is what well.
yeah, it's. I mean, basically, they're threatening behavior by cutting off your money. All
Right.
right,
Exactly.
we're going to control you by cutting off your money.
Ex-
Do we should we not see, all of us people around the world should we not see that that is exactly what that's exactly where each one of us are at. We are at the place where we will our behavior will be controlled, or everything will be taken away from us.
That's right. And I think a little bit later on down the line, we're going to start seeing this. Okay, with taking away of, should we say, uh, cash money and going to digital currencies, but then also um, not being able to, maybe, we have one credit card or something that we use to scan for everything. Okay, that's got all our information on it, anything and everything about us, right? All our
Mhm.
biometrics, all our life data,
All of
it-
our internet preferences.
anything and everything about us. Okay, and if we get out of line, then guess what? They're going to cancel
we,
it,
we lose
or
our card.
right,
It's like the mark of the beast in the Bible.
right, right. And this
But
right here is it's not like that yet, but the
oh,
point is,
I know we're not
that,
there. We're just
right,
talking about if we don't wake up, that's where we're going.
exactly. So, but even
We're
with
already
this,
on the path.
right, but even with this, it's about controlling people. You know, you do what we say, or you're not gonna get the money, to fund your schools. Okay, that's
Yeah.
just another control factor, just another way of manipulation,
All right. I
right?
want to go to another CNN headline. Um, no chance. Former Biden supporter explains why he won't vote for him again. Um, and the you know this is one of the youth voters. This is about this is about the youth vote. Um, and What happens if the youth don't vote for Biden,
They're gonna vote for Trump,
or they'll vote for Bobby Kennedy Jr., which
or take guess what who I heard might possibly run,
who
The Rock.
I have heard that actually the Democratic Party approached The Rock about running supposedly, and he told
Mhm.
them no. But I have heard that he may reconsider and run as an independent,
Right. So,
just because people want an outsider,
mhm,
and he's got the name, he's got the money, um,
popular. He's popular.
and he's popular,
Right.
and um, something's going to happen. I'm going to go to this next headline. Trump, quote, engaged in an insurrection, end quote, the judge says, but should remain on the Colorado ballot.
I don't know how you. I don't know how you can. That's how you. Okay, so all the people that were involved in the insurrection got locked up, right?
Right. Well, not
Okay.
yet, but a lot of them have, and
Right.
it's ongoing. Yeah.
Right. But he's saying, yeah, he engaged in insurrection, but should remain on the ballot in Colorado. Like,
Yeah, because it doesn't apply to a president.
what do you mean it doesn't apply to a president?
That's the judge's justification.
All right.
Something to think
Okay.
about. All right. Um, I'm going to throw this out real quick, just as to the chat and to you, Chris. Why would anyone want a criminal and a liar and anything else along those lines to be president because he can be controlled?
No, it's because who that country is. You know,
Because of who that country
that's
is.
yeah. You take a look at that. Well, obviously, you see what happened in Nigeria, right?
Yeah, yeah, we've talked about that.
Well, there you go. Right. So
Yeah,
you have the 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 first commission that allowed him to continue on, even though Peter Obi and Atiku showed, hey, you know what, there's enough proof here to show that he did not win. They still kept him in
right,
office. And then when it went to Supreme Court, they still kept it, and
right.
there was more evidence. So yeah, okay. Um, Tinubu is, should we say, not the legitimate president, but you had some other corrupt individuals who upheld, the election. So that's just a rep. That what it does is you're just showing what your country's really about.
Yeah. And the importance to me of Bobby Kennedy Jr. being in this, if you have an election, and Mike Pence and I ran against each other 3 separate times. The first two I tried really, really hard. The third one, it was kind of like a middle finger to the Democrat Party. Um, I ran again after that, but that was because of Bernie. That's a different story. Um, the times that Pence and I ran against each other, there was always a third party candidate.
Mm-hmm.
And the third party candidate would take 1 to 3%, maybe. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So in a head to head election, you got to win 47% of the vote.
Right. So
It's
they
not
split the
about
vote.
it. Yeah. It's
They
not
split the
about
vote.
winning 100% of the vote. If you
Mm-hmm.
have 3 legitimate candidates, you only have to win, hypothetically, 34% of the vote.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
So where they that independent party is what that splits the vote then, right?
absolutely. It'll take votes away from both of the other parties if it is a legitimate candidate. Now,
Mhm.
if you get to 4 candidates, if The Rock jumps in there and becomes a legitimate candidate, because Kennedy's legitimate just because of the name Kennedy.
Right. Right.
Okay. If The Rock jumps in there, you only got to win 26% of the vote potentially to be the
Mm-hmm.
president, to
Right.
represent 100% of the people.
No, well, that all depends on electoral college too. So
And that all depends on the electoral college too, absolutely. But it's not ever going to happen because, in my opinion, it's money. It's the corporations
yeah, yeah,
that
that's true.
that
And
control the, you know,
that's
uh,
that's
and
true.
the corporations had the Supreme Court. I mean, the Supreme Court under Republican administration ruled that corporations have personhood, that corporations can influence elections, and
Yeah, because of the money.
because of the money, because of the money, and and as long as Trump's getting his money, he's not going to care what the corporations do. That's
Right.
why he's such a popular candidate with with that group.
And
All
see,
right.
and that's the same reason why The Rock would be just as popular, because once again, he has his own money and they can't control him. But that's just kind of like how I would see it.
Okay, but at the same time, people that people that have money
Yeah.
don't have enough. In their
Right.
view, if you got money, well, wouldn't more money be good? Wouldn't
Right.
more money be
Exactly.
better? Wouldn't,
Right.
So just um we're getting conned. We do better, America. Do better, Americans. Wake up. We're getting conned. And it's not just by Trump, in
Right.
my opinion.
Right. Well, that's
All
your
right.
AO, Billy. That's your AO. I'm not the political dude.
I know. That's me. That's just me. That's the opinion shared there was mine. All right.
Right. Right.
Um, all right. from the Telegraph 6 hours ago, marble and slingshot wielding migrants have stormed EU's borders with ladders to climb the fences.
Guess somebody wants to get in the EU. I guess they're not too happy about their situations. But that just seems like they're just very desperate to get in, or they're just there to start some shenanigans,
Yeah. Philippines had an earthquake. This came in 11 hours ago. Screams and panic and crumbling mall as huge 7-point quake hits in the Philippines. That's not really for comment. That's just kind of for information. This one, though, the Pentagon moles deploying Marine regiment as Israel-Hamas war rages. This came in.
Okay.
This came in just an hour ago. They're talking about putting the Marine Expeditionary Unit.
Where at? Out there, over in Jordan, or where?
Well,
Israel?
I don't think it says where. I don't. I'm almost certain it doesn't say where. Deploying Marines to the Middle East. It doesn't give a specific. I'm assuming that it's around the oil fields in Iraq and Syria. Is
There
what
too.
I'm assuming. I don't. I think Israel, the Israeli Hamas thing, is a giant cover up.
And we're getting to that here very soon, I'm sure. And we're going to get into that very soon. I'm pretty sure.
You think that we might learn that there's off the coast of Gaza or in Gaza? You think we might learn that?
I think okay. So reports that I've heard, there is oil deposits in Gaza City. Okay, so other thing that I heard is the Prime Minister of Britain, his uncle. Now, this is allegedly what I heard. I don't have concrete proof, but this is allegedly what I heard, that his uncle had a 1.5 or has a 1.5 billion dollar deal with BP for those oil deposits there in Gaza City.
Wow. Put a whole new look. If all this comes out and proves to be true, that will put a whole new spin on what's going on over there.
All day long. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. Remember what I told you about anytime I hear the word terrorism or any country I've been involved in where there's some sort of insurgency or terrorism, guess what? There's always something nearby. There's always some oil or there's some oil and some natural resources. I kid you not.
I know. Otherwise, we leave.
Because here's the thing. How does that? Why do we care about that if there's nothing in there to benefit us?
Yeah.
We just don't do stuff just to do it because we're nice. No. We do stuff because it's a humanitarian cause.
As long as there are natural resources there.
Right. So and I can set the pattern, the baseline for this right here when I talk about this is a while ago that we talked about Somalia and how now we're there in Somalia, but we weren't in there before until the president said, "Hey, look, I'll give you oil if you come here and help us out." And it was like, "Oh, okay." And then the whole narrative changed.
There.
Yeah, and the whole thing changes to where you know what? Yeah, we're going to help the Somalis fight terrorism, and so what we getting in exchange for it? You see, It was the oil, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one, and let's talk about France. And I keep reiterating this about France, like when they're in Mali and all these other countries, and they're talking about, yeah, we're there for counterterrorism. We're here to get rid of the jihadists. And meanwhile, they up there digging and getting the natural resources.
Right.
Okay,
100% of the uranium to run the French nuclear reactors comes from Mali and Burkina
right,
Faso.
right. So then, and then, even I take a look at Mozambique, right? So the whole thing with Mozambique, when that alleged insurgency started, okay, so the total oil has they they had those oil platforms out there, right? Because they
Hmm.
discovered a whole bunch of oil off the coast of Mozambique, right?
Right.
And the thing was, the total oil was supposed to pay the government of Mozambique, right? And then
Hmm.
the government of Mozambique was supposed to pay that community, okay, where those oil fields are,
Right.
hey, we're going to give you money for this because, it's on your turf. So,
Right.
this is what needs to happen. So they never gave him the money.
Of course not.
Never gave him the money. So then next thing you know, here you have a whole bunch of terrorist attacks and insurgent attacks, and it's called Al Shabaab, but not the Al Shabaab from Somalia doing it. It's just another group. But the terrorist attack
Just
started in
another
March.
group under the label.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
just like, I'm just like, okay, this is some BS. Who didn't get paid? You know, like who didn't get paid?
Do we
Because
too often utilize the term terrorist in order to dehumanize the people that we are killing?
it's a way of dehumanizing, but also control. It's a controlling factor. Well, we don't like you, and we don't like what you said, so, and we don't like what you did, so we're gonna label you.
Yeah, we'll label you a terrorist group if you don't conform.
Right. And it's really about you being a rebel. It really is. If you don't go along with the flow, but if you want to, like, how can I phrase this? Why would anybody in their right mind sit there and try to let somebody walk all over them, tell them what they had to do? Just like being a slave. And when you're trying to tell me that you don't have enough gumption, you don't have enough gall to stand up and fight for yourself, to fight back, and then oh, you're a terrorist. Okay, I'm a terrorist because I fought back. Come on, man. That's just
Yeah,
that's just that's
yeah,
just
because
that's,
you're not supposed to fight back. You're supposed to conform.
well, there are
And
those that
so,
conform, and then
but
those are the rebels,
so
right?
yeah, you're one man's freedom fighter is another man's terrorist.
Right.
Chris, I don't think people unless they're like you and me and those watching that are in the middle that really are, really unless you're in the middle, you don't see these things because it is counterproductive to your belief.
Hmm. Well,
Do you think
yeah.
that's true? Do you think
Um,
it's true?
the thing about it is, Barry, I don't know if it's true. I think everyone has their own parameters, should we say? All right,
Hmm.
on what how far they're going to go. Okay,
Okay,
so like
fair
here's an
enough.
example.
Yeah.
Here's an example. If someone came to your house, okay, and said, we're going to take it over, we're going to take part of your house over, and um, we're going to give you this part of the house. Would you agree to that? What would you say?
um just take it over.
Yeah, we say
Yeah, no.
we're going to take over this part. We're going to take over this part of the house, but
No,
and
of
but
course,
we're going to
of course you, yeah.
but we're going to give you
I
this
was
part
going
of
to
the
make
house.
a joke, but this isn't a joking time. So no, of course you're going to say no.
Well,
Get the f
okay,
out.
right, exactly. Nobody in their right mind is going to conform to that, right? Especially since
Hmm.
it's your house, it's your property, it's where you lived and you've been lived. But someone's going to come in and try to take it over. We're just going to give you this portion of the house, but everything else, we're going to take over. People in their right mind will say, no, that's not going to happen, right? So
There
they
you go.
they come in and
You're
try
back.
to take over. And what happens when you fight back?
you get crushed.
Or you might get
Or
crushed, or what's the other option there? You fight back and you win, right? And you kick that person out. You see? You kick that person out.
all right, he's back.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Awesome. Yes, we got you.
All right. So it's like, you're there and they come in and say, this is how it's gonna run. We can offer you this, but we're gonna take this. And you say no, and they're gonna say, well, why not? Well, because it's all mine. What makes you think you're gonna come in and take this over? This is
Mhm.
where the person that has more than you is gonna sit there and say, well, why aren't you gonna take it? Why should I take it? It's mine. You're coming on my turf. You think you're just gonna take my stuff? There's no way. And so when you fight back, well, why are you fighting back? You shouldn't be fighting back. Yeah, I
Yeah,
should. It's mine. You know?
yeah, we tried to be reasonable. Why are you fighting back?
Yeah, there is no reasonable. You won't come and ask me or tell me this is what you're gonna do, or even ask me, is it, can we do this? No, you can't. It's mine. Get lost. Right?
Yeah.
So um that's kind of like what's going on right now over there in Israel and with Israel and Hamas. But it's a hell of a lot deeper than that. Yeah, as
Okay.
we're getting ready to get into.
Especially if oil is involved.
Israel, yeah.
You mentioned Mozambique. Um, we've still got troops in Iraq. We've still
Yep. Of
got troops in Syria, and they're there because of the oil.
course,
Um,
we need that, right?
yeah.
We need that. So does that should that surprise you?
No, no, not at all. I don't know if people understand why all these things are happening.
Right. But
And
here's the
and
thing. Well,
and we also have to look at the fact that we have the people have wanted alternatives for alternatives to being dependent on oil because oil is um it's non-renewable. Once it's gone.
right, right,
And we use it like it's always, like there's always going to be a free tap.
right.
And we as people should have been demanding different different things happening.
Hmm.
But yet we have been controlled to the fact that it's oil, it's got to be a gas powered car, otherwise it's not safe, it's not this, it's not that. And this isn't about cars. It's about oil, and it's about the bigger truck you drive, the badder ass you are,
Hmm.
regardless of how many gallons it gets,
Hmm.
regardless of efficiency. All of it to me ties in. It's all connected.
Right.
And it's one of the ways we're getting conned. And as an example, I'm going to bring this up. We will not leave any black skin here. Refugees described alleged ethnic cleansing in El Janina.
All right. So
Um,
so so actually, that's old stuff.
why
Yeah,
why aren't we there? Why don't we have troops there if it's about people?
because I don't think there's any oil there or anything like that we can benefit off of. See what I'm saying?
That's my point.
So the even with this here, I think your audience should know, like, this is actually kind of old, because
This has been going on for like 9 months,
no, years,
longer than that.
for years.
Okay, all right, all right.
Yeah, so the what I think it's called the RSF.
I meant the 9 months, the recent kind of ethnic
Oh,
cleansing that's being attempted.
yeah. Well, guess what? It's been going
Or
on.
has that been going on for years
That's
too?
been going on for years. So you have the
Okay.
RSF, right? That
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guess who that is? That's no one but the Janjaweed. That's all that is. They just changed
Just
their name.
rebranding.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rapid speed patrol or something like that.
They're an
RS.
They're an Arab militia, okay? But guess what? They're black too. And guess what, people? They're black Arabs. Hey,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
there's tons of black
Yeah.
Arabs, right? You got black Arabs, you got white Arabs.
Let me advance it a little bit if I can. Go ahead, keep talking.
Yeah, you got black Arabs, you got white Arabs, and you got Arabs that are mixed. And I can tell you, just for me, I know black Sudanese that are Arabs. You know, the Arab Sudanese, and they're black. And I know even in Afghanistan when I was working with UAESF, United United Arab Emirates Special Forces, their military guys. A lot of them were black, and they were Arabs. Okay, so you know, even when I was in Israel, the West Bank, I used to see black Arabs all the time, black Palestinians, you know. So I'm just like I don't get it. Like, what makes you think Arabs aren't black? You know, because I think the images they show you on television would lead you to believe that, you know, well, most Arabs look like this, you know, but in all actuality, they're mixed. They're white Arabs, they're black Arabs, they're Arabs that are mixed, and I can tell you that firsthand, because they're all for real. When I'm over in the Middle East and when I'm in Emirates, and I put on a tunic, or we call it dish dash, and I put on the keffiyeh, guess what? They don't ever mistake me for not being an Arab. I tell you that right now, and I'm black. You know,
Yeah,
black American. They swear that I'm an Arab, and that's how I'm.
but see, America's not told that. You know, we're like, okay, Arabs are one color, Africans are another color, Chinese, or you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We're stupid here in this. We're not informed.
Yeah,
we're not anywhere close to informed.
We're a very ignorant group of people. A very ignorant group of people. You know, and that's just my experiences. Like I said, I've lived all over the world, and I come back here and I talk to people. They're like, "What are you talking about?" Like, okay, dude, I'm not gonna have this discussion with you ever again, because you're a basic person. You have to keep things simple with you. You know,
yeah,
I can't.
Yeah,
I can't. You know, talk about international issues with you, geopolitical stuff with you, because you're just not there. You know, you're
yeah, because there's so much nuance involved.
Yeah, true. But basically, the people that you deal with on the local level. You know, they're just like local people. They're not. Should we say? A lot of people haven't traveled the world. They haven't. So all they have.
I know a lot of people haven't left their home state.
Yeah. So all they have is one perspective and what they see on television. That's it. That's all they know. So you know, but like I said, when I'm over in UAE, they thought I'm not that. When I put my put a dish dash on, or a tunic, and put on my keffiyeh, they think that like I'm an Arab. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And even when like I said, I was when I went to the West Bank, I saw a whole bunch of black Palestinians. You know.
Yeah.
So and like I told you, my buddy, my couple of my friends they're Sudanese, but they're Arabs. They're from the north. Oh, so the whole thing about the Arabs in the Sudan are from the north.
Yeah.
And the so-called blacks are from the south, right? So it's split. But I mean, everyone's black. They just split things up because one speaks Arabic and the other ones don't.
Yeah.
Difference.
Yeah, and they've got their own version of the N-word that they use as a pejorative against the against the darker skinned, right?
Yes, indeed. I don't know if you want me to say it or.
No,
Okay.
no, I don't.
Okay.
No, I just want people to be aware that it happens.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. First Jewish member of Congress to call for a ceasefire in Gaza. Um, I don't think this is going to become a trend in any way, shape, or form.
Nah, I'm surprised she even came out and said that. But you know what? You have a whole bunch of Jewish students that are coming out and saying, you know what, hey, ceasefire, in Gaza. So it's
Yeah.
and like I said, the problem isn't with Jewish people per se. That's not the issue.
No.
Yeah,
No.
that's not the problem. The problem is Zionism. But if
Right.
the oil there in Gaza City, if that's the real deal, then we know what it's really about. And we're going to get into this a little bit
Right.
further, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah. We have to because we want the oil.
Right.
And again, threats. FBI chief says terrorists may exploit Mideast war to attack in U.S. This is nothing that we've been talking about about this possibility for how long now?
Probably over like maybe the past month, maybe.
Absolutely, 3 times a week.
Yep.
For the past month. Iran's betrayal leaves Hamas nowhere to go. Iran saying it's not going to come in and help Hamas against Israel leaves Hamas nowhere to go. Rumblings I've been hearing, Hamas has disappeared. There are no more uniformed Hamas. They have all blended in, and with few exceptions, they have left Israel no one to fight.
So what they're doing is they're regrouping. They're going to regroup. That's what they're doing.
Everybody's pressing for a ceasefire.
Right.
And Hamas, more than anyone, I think, would like a ceasefire to do what you're just saying, regroup.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Because now you've got a whole bunch of Israeli troops on your turf.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just tanks.
Nope.
It's going to be infantry. It's going to be people crawling into the tunnels, right?
Exactly. But so they have to rearm and resupply. We just call it, just getting all that stuff, get all your logistics, back where they need to be, so you can continue to fight.
Right. Yeah, because Hamas is not saying no mas. Hamas is saying we need, give us, we need a ceasefire in order to get these civilians out.
Yeah, well, that I told you that
I know
that's a stall tactic. So Israel has their foot on the gas and is not going to let up at all.
I wouldn't think so, unless. Okay, what about the hostages, Chris? As a counterterrorism, looking at it from that point, the hostages, they're the biggest bargaining chip from my perspective that Hamas has trying to.
That is the biggest bargaining chip they have, and check this out. This is what Bibi said. Netanyahu said, "Hey, you release those hostages, we'll give you the ceasefire." I wouldn't believe that for a minute. And the reason why, as soon as you release all those hostages, he's really gonna go at you. I mean, he's going at you now. But if you release all your bargaining chips, what do you? What do you have?
Yeah.
Oh, really? You let go of all that stuff? Good. We're just gonna that's it. You're done. But what I haven't heard, that's just the military side of Hamas. What about the political side of Hamas? Now, Israel said we're getting rid of all of Hamas. So what's going on with the political side up there in Qatar?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The president is under the protection of Qatar, right? Qatar.
Of the president of Hamas is under the.
Yeah.
I don't know, because look.
Yeah, he the leader of the leader of the political wing of Hamas, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe even the military wing of Hamas, are both under the protection of Qatar or Qatar or Qatar, however you say it.
Really?
Yeah, really, for real.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
and
figured Israel would go after them. I was like, if they sat there and said we're wiping out everyone in Hamas, I was like, okay, well the political wing is going to get wiped out too. You know, any remnant of
yeah,
Hamas, you know, is going to get
you would
wiped out.
think
But you said they have protection under Qatar.
they do.
Okay. Well, we call that okay.
Yeah,
So in Arabic Muslim culture, we call that protege. All right. So that's when your enemies are coming after you, right? And you ask like the leader of that country or maybe the leader of that village or whatever. Hey, you know, we're seeking protege, you know, for protection. So you know, our enemies cannot touch us,
yeah,
and then that leader of that village or country will give you protection, and that it seems like that's exactly what's been done.
do we are we still considering U.S. and Iran going to war? U.S. preemptively striking Iran?
It seems like right now it's a stalemate. I don't think Iran really wants to go to war with us.
Okay, all
I,
right.
just,
Because
that just you know, everyone's talking a big game,
mhm,
but no one's doing anything.
yeah,
You know, we're saber rattling.
yeah,
We're saber rattling. You know,
right.
but yet,
I wanted to get into the original plan was to get into the art of war tonight,
uh,
but we're not going to have time for that. But one of the tenets of the art of war is when you are weak, show that you are strong, and when you're strong, pretend that you're weak.
right.
Has Russia been pretending to be weak this whole time in
Of
Ukraine?
course.
And is the United States pretending to be strong right now in the Middle East?
Okay. Um, Russia. Yeah, Russia's faking it. Okay. Russia's pretty strong. All right. Um, and for us, I really can't sit there and say what our capabilities are, naval wise, right? Um,
We got some
we
stuff.
do, we do. Um, we have a whole lot of um, ordnance, right? And we can shoot
Hmm.
down a whole lot of stuff, right? Um,
Hmm.
and I think I would hope that our Navy is one of the best. But here, keep in mind, once again, we're also facing armed non-state actors. Okay, it's not like we're facing um,
A conventional military situation.
the only conventional military that we're going to really face is going to be Iran's. That's who we're going to be facing. So, and
Okay.
I don't know what Iran's naval capacity is or what they can do and what they can't do.
Okay. All right. Um, because the article says Biden's military show of force is seen by Iran as no more than a static display. Its deterrence value, the supposed muscle behind Biden's "don't" warnings, has been largely ignored.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
they clown us. You know that, right? They're like, yeah, okay, whatever. We'll do something. You know, if you're gonna put all these people out here, do something and see what happens. You know, we're not gonna strike you. You brought all these people out here. Strike us.
Chris, I need to ask this question. If Israel is as strong a military as they seem to be, and why do they need our immediate emergency aid of billions of dollars?
Listen,
Nobody's asked that, I don't think.
yeah. Here's the thing. I think Israel is self sufficient. Okay,
Yeah.
but here's the thing. Like I said, we don't like countries don't like to use their own resources. We use someone else's resources that have more than we do. Okay, like the United States.
Yeah,
So
but we're so far in debt
yeah, they don't.
that
They
it seems like yeah,
that's not their problem. That's our problem.
right. I know.
So,
All right, and another thing, officially, Israel doesn't have nuclear missiles, right?
but yeah, officially they don't, but they do.
Officially, they don't, but we know they do because one of their cabinet members said using a nuclear missile, a nuclear bomb on Gaza was an option.
Right.
He immediately got, hey, you're not going to talk to the public anymore for saying the private thing out loud. But that pretty much told the world that, well, yeah, they got missiles. So why aren't they being monitored by the International Nuclear Regulatory Agency? And
And
I just got a lot of questions about this.
yeah, so this is a while ago. I think they denied that group access to the facilities. I don't quote me on that.
I'm not.
Yeah, don't quote,
Allegedly.
yeah, allegedly.
Everything we say is alleged, just for
Right. So I would actually have to research that a little bit more, but I think those inspectors were denied access to the facilities. If my memory serves me correctly, that's what occurred.
All right. We're going to shift back over here just for a moment to the U.S. and politics. Meta. I said earlier, I got a problem with Facebook. Meta is Facebook and Instagram, basically. Meta has officially accepts blood money to promote the big lie. That is a clickbait headline, but here's Facebook and Instagram have both said they will accept 2024 campaign ads that promote the election was stolen from Donald Trump.
So basically, what they're really saying is they're pushing for Trump to be back in office, right?
Exactly. Yes.
So
yes. Yeah, and which I've been, throughout the night, I've brought it up a little bit here and there that who wants Trump back in office? Why do they want him back in office?
Mm-hmm. So, who wants him back in office? Those his base, but not. So we talk about right versus left, right? So it's going to be the right wing groups of people that are really in his corner backing him. But not only that, from what I'm seeing now and hearing now, demographic wise, Biden is actually not going to get the support that he needs from certain communities. You see?
Yeah, the youth and the blacks.
Yep, exactly.
I'll say the quiet part out loud on that one.
Right.
Simply because we can do better, America.
Mm-hmm.
We can do better.
Yes.
Biden's support of Israel makes U.S. an accessory to apartheid and risks another forever war. Again, just kind of reinforcing what we've been talking about.
Yes.
All right. The last, let's see. Let me make sure it's the last. Yeah, we can skip that. I'm just going to touch on this for just a second. Impossible to intercept. Russia has started uploading hypersonic ballistic missiles into launch silos.
Anything can be intercepted. Anything can be intercepted. Whoever wrote that story is just like, okay, anything can be intercepted, So even though you're hypersonic ballistic missile, and there's a counter to everything. Trust me. All right. Well,
lasers.
Yeah, I mean, there's a counter to everything. So when people say, well, they can't be intercepted, yeah, they can be intercepted. Don't you? Okay, right. Don't you think that okay? If we have that,
hold on.
If we have something similar to a hypersonic ballistic missile best believe we know that other countries have it. So we have to counter what they have. So we don't get hit with it. It's like that's how it works.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope we have counters for everything.
We better.
All right. Actually, and we'll get into this a little bit deeper at maybe Monday evening. But the reason I say I hope we have counters for everything is radiation exposure from a nuclear attack. All right. Now, this is just a nuclear attack on our nuclear sites. This is not a nuclear attack on our cities. And of course, if ground bursts happen at our silos, which is what's anticipated in order to take them out, it will also cause nuclear reactions amongst the explosives we have in our silos. Once they are being blown up, that radiation is going to be released as well.
Exactly.
And just from this one map, there's nowhere to hide. And this is not with the cities being radiated. It's just a matter of time, the amount of radiation that would be released if our silos were hit, just our silos.
Right.
So again, I don't think this is something that people think about a lot, especially hawks that demand us go. Let's go to war and wipe them off the map. Well, don't you think that if somebody thinks we're going to wipe them off the map, they might pull the trigger and try to wipe us first? And if that's the case, first thing they're going to go after are our silos.
Right.
And if they are successful, we're pretty much done.
Right. So I mean, that's what makes sense. So you can't attack them. So you take out the silos. Right.
Right. Yeah. We'll get into that in a little more depth on Monday night. And I have a feeling we'll have to get in a little more depth to this. The Osama bin Laden letter to America. I am not going to play this video. A guy put it up that only has 250 subscribers and has 22,000 views in one day of the letter. I am not going to play the letter. I'm not going to play him reading the letter, which is what you will see if you go to this site. And I hope some of you anyway will go to the site and hear the letter as he reads it, or find the letter and read it yourself, because we're going to spend some time Monday night talking about what bin Laden said, if that's okay with you, Chris.
That's fine. Fine with me.
I mean, you kind of have we've never really talked about bin Laden, but bin Laden was like the ultimate boogeyman when you were in Afghanistan. Is that not correct?
Well, it was not so much him that we were fighting. It was more or less the Taliban. We were in Afghanistan.
Okay.
It's all about the Taliban and and then nation building. That's what we're really doing, or at least trying to do, right? Because we really didn't have any clear-cut objectives. I don't even think we knew what we were doing over there. My damn self. I was like, well, like
what are we doing here?
Yeah, So, but I mean, for what we were doing stabilization operations. We were really doing a whole bunch of nation building, and like I say, we're not the best at doing it. So, and
whoa. Okay, hold on a second. There, sorry, I accidentally started playing it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, but I don't think we're actually the best at doing stuff like that. So, it didn't. I mean, I think we had this discussion before, but the government of Afghanistan was just totally corrupt, and they could not function. Okay, here's the thing: we're a very complicated group of people. Okay, they're very
Americans?
Americans are a very complicated group of people. Afghans are very simplistic group of people. The majority of them are agrarian. Okay, on my 3 rotations in Afghanistan, I was in the mountains for all 3. Okay, I didn't see the city until I came back, to either Kabul or Kandahar, the city itself. Okay, most of the time I was in some rural environment, extremely. When we say rural, I'm talking extreme, austere environments. Extreme,
Village of 100 or less.
yeah. You're talking
Yeah.
extreme, austere environment. So,
Yeah.
um, the thing about it is those, like I said, those people are agrarians. Okay, they're not very. The majority of them aren't literate. They don't know. The first rotation I was in Afghanistan, the people didn't even know that they were Afghans. They thought they were in Pakistan. I mean, we were that close to the Pakistani border, but they didn't know that they were Afghans. They were just like, oh, we're in Pakistan. Like, no, you're not in Pakistan. You're in Afghanistan. It's like that. So, um,
Wow. Wow. All right. As always, we've been on for almost an hour now. We've covered a lot of things. Anything you wanna expand on or reach out on here at the
I
end?
think I think Monday. Well, not nothing tonight, but I think Monday. If it'd be all right if we could just go into that whole um, Israel Hamas gas thing, oil deposits in Gaza City, because I think I told everyone that Zionist ideology is, of course, to get rid of the Palestinian people, right? That's Zionist ideology, and yes, they did accomplish they through that attack. That's the justification for it. But now,
Right. We go back and start at October
right,
7th, and we look forward and see how we can see if there's some kind of way of that potentially Hamas, the leaders of Hamas who are in Qatar, under safety,
right,
could they have some kind of tie with Israel
and
in order for Israel to let the attack happen?
and yeah,
You want
so
is that
yeah, so because here's the thing, right? If there are oil deposits there in Gaza, then they have to move those people out. You see, to get to the oil, right?
yeah.
So I'm just I listen,
This is just a theory. It's alleged. We're not saying this is happening but come on.
but
It,
but hey,
if
listen,
there's oil there, you got to get the people out of there so you can get the oil.
right? So
Otherwise, it's their oil.
right?
Otherwise, it's their oil.
So
There's a movie out now, Chris. Killers of the Flower Moon, and it's all about Texas and uh, killing one of the tribes, one of the Indian tribes, because there's oil on their land.
yeah, well, check this out. You ever watch the movie Syriana with George Clooney?
No, I haven't.
You need to watch it, and
Uh-uh.
the audience should
Okay.
watch it too, because
Okay.
it kind of explains the whole oil, gas, and then the whole military industrial complex, and how kind of like the agency operates in reference to that based upon our national security objectives.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So
All right. Syriana
yep,
by with George Clooney.
yes, good movie, good movie.
All right. That's our homework. We'll make sure and get that done by this time next week.
Exactly.
Uh, Okay, not going away. Lost a first cousin in Afghanistan during that damn war. Nobody can make it living paycheck to paycheck. It takes more than one person bring money into the home. Yeah, that's where we are. That's where the majority of Americans are. And again, I think I think we may be getting conned, allegedly.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'll talk to you Monday.
Okay, will do, Barry. Hey, thank you a lot. Thanks a lot for having me back on your show, man. I love being on this one.
Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. You're here. You're a fixture, dude.
Yep.
Thank you for coming on. We'll see you Monday.
Okay, take care. Have a good night, Barry.
All right, you too. And as always, greatly appreciate Chris's personal experiences, his knowledge, his connections, his information. This is a pretty good show tonight, I think. I think we got some stuff out that maybe people may not know about. And that's what we try to do. We try to give you things to think about and let you think and decide for yourselves. And I thank you for watching and for supporting the show. And if you want to support, we could really use it at the moment. And the best way to do it is Cashapp. $ American Dufus, AMERICANDUFUS, all one word. You could also leave a super chat, but quite honestly, the platform gets 30% of it right up front. So Cash App's the best way. We're not going to say don't super chat. And if you'd like to donate in another manner, email me, or if you want to contact the show, email americandufus@gmail.com. And again, as always, thank you. Thank you for watching. Consider sharing it. Consider subscribing. Getting notified when the show is going to be on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be doing this. I also come on other times and do other things, but this is important stuff, in my opinion. What we're doing here is important. It's significant in that we are providing alternative information to people that you may not see on your preferred mainstream media newscast. Not saying you won't see it, just saying you may not. And with that being said, we do it because you guys watch, and thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Namaste, shalom, shalom, assalamu alaikum. Blessings be upon you from the one true living God, the Most High. And all of us never lose focus on peace. Oh, and by the way, got my hair cut off. We'll talk to you Monday night, if not before. I love y'all. It's a dark world. Be a light.